Today I am presenting on time management as a tool for personal discovery. Actually, this paper was presented at 4 years anniversary of GBA Young Students Association. Why is it important to understand time management? Proper time management helps in reducing stress. It also helps you to get more things done easily without much worry, especially these days when a lot of things are on our necks. It is very important for us to organize our time properly because this will also help our well-being and the quality of our life. When you create too many things on your head, there is every tendency that you will not have effective performance at any of them. This is what we call time management matrix. It is important to prioritize actions and to understand how to manage our time properly. In the quadrant number 1, you can see it is an intersection of urgent and important. So anything that is urgent and important, just try to do it without procrastination. Anything that is not urgent but important, and these are the majority of the things we do. So in this case, what we are supposed to do is we plan for them. We set time, we set goals. It's good for us if we can have a notebook where we'll be recording what we want to do at every particular point in time. That is planning. So for anything that is not urgent but important, we plan for it. For anything that is urgent but is not important, we can delegate someone to handle that, or we can do it in a time when that particular time is not that pressing for us. For some other things, we can see they are not urgent and not important, so it will be better and healthier for us if we can just eliminate them from our life. So by using this concept, I believe we are going to have a great improvement in our day-to-day activities and plans. Now, example of things that are urgent and important is crisis, emergencies, and deadlines. It's always just good to do them. Example of things that you can plan for is if you want to do a research. For example, you want to write a paper, or you are writing a thesis, or you are writing a project, or something of that nature. So then you can plan for it. You can plan for marriage. You can plan for a lot of things like that, which are not that pressing. So you can plan for them. You can set goals that you can achieve. When we are talking about planning, which carry most of our issues, it's good to be smart. Smart here means we need to be specific when we are setting goals that we want to achieve. It's good to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. We should make sure that our goals satisfy this. We set specific goals, and the goals should be measurable. The goals should be achievable. The goals should be realistic, and we place time bound. Example, let's say, let me set a SMART goal, for example. In the next coming 2 years, I want to finish my MSc degree. Let's say I'm already in the studies. So I believe this goal is specific. I know I want to complete my MSc in 2 years. It's measurable. Yes, and it's achievable because I'm already pursuing the program. It's realistic and it's time bound. I have set time for myself. Because if you did not set time for yourself, there is every tendency that you keep postponing the thing. So it's very important if you can set smart goals for yourself. What do you want to achieve and at what time? But Remember, whenever you are setting these goals, you have to make sure you are setting something you can achieve. Now, it's very important if we can think about this, the answer to these questions. What do we do with our time? It's very important to think. We have 24 hours every day. If you remove the hours you take for sleeping, because it is always good you take at least 7 hours for sleeping. So apart from those 7 hours, what do you do with the remaining hours of your time? It's good if you can sit down and think about this, so that you need to eliminate some things that you are doing, which you can replace them with others that are more useful. It's very important if we should remind that whenever we make attempts, it's not compulsory that whenever you make an attempt to get something, you get it. No. But it is not a waste of time to keep attempting things, because definitely one time you will succeed, and it's one of the judicious utilization of time. In fact, many people that you see succeeding have had a lot of failed attempts. Now, have you ever got into any trouble, failed over and over, or maybe you are solving a mathematical problem and you cannot get a correct answer, or you write something and it was rejected? All these are not part of time wastage, because you are training yourself. And the more you do, the more you fail, the more you learn. So keep trying. You are using your time judiciously. Whenever you attend an event or something of that nature, a classroom, you are learning something and you do not understand. To use your time properly, you need to ask questions, because since you are there, there is no reason why you should leave that particular place when you do not understand what is being presented. It's very good if we can assess ourselves. Now, if you don't have mentor, you are expected to have one, because mentor is a lot of things for us. Mentor have passed through some lives that we have not passed through, so he will help us in shaping the way we think and in shaping our career path. I advise at this particular juncture that you go and perform SWOT analysis for yourself now. SWOT is an acronym for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The R shall not be there. Okay? So everybody has his strength and has his weaknesses. So just think, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Try and pursue your strength, because you will be performing wonders there. And then for some of your weaknesses, you can work on them. So you cannot eliminate weaknesses completely, but you can work on some of your weaknesses. Now, let's ask ourselves these questions. Is our presence recognized? In your absence, will people clap or cry? Because this is an indicator on how you utilize your time. Are you a kind of person who is useful to people and the society, such that when they miss you, they will begin to ask about you? Or when you die, people will cry because you leave a gap? Or are you the kind of person who is just having no purpose in life? Let's reflect on this. It's always good if you can aspire to inspire before you expire. It always pays to disrupt the status quo. Somebody has never done it does not mean you cannot do it. Just keep pursuing. Use your time judiciously. I believe sky is your limit. With this, if you are able to be taking this into your heart and you are working day by day, I believe you will discover yourself. And that is a concept of self discovery. For self-discovery, we need to look at this. We need to do introspection. We need to examine ourselves. We need to question ourselves. We need to reflect on ourselves. We need to do soul searching. All this, when we do them, this will help us to know where are we now and where are we heading to. It's always good if you know where you are now, then you can project where you want to be with God's grace after a given time. Let me remind us of the Pareto principle, which said if you can plan things, you can achieve 80% result. You can get 80% result. But if you keep doing effort without planning, you put in 80% of your effort, you get only 20% result. But if you put 20% of effort, planned effort, you will get 80% result. 20% unplanned effort will only give you, 80% unplanned effort will only give you 20% result. So it always pay to plan things properly. Parents can only advise you, but doing the right thing is on you. Now, as the world is changing every day now, especially in this 21st century, you always need to unlearn, relearn. So if we have to keep learning day by day. Now, what arrangement from your time do you have for continuous self-improvement? If you don't have that, please do one now because the world is changing very fast and we need to learn a lot of things. You should be able to manage yourself properly. Sometimes some friends are our major enemies because they are the ones that help us in wasting our times. So I would like to remind us at this point that it is normal to have an ex-friend so that you can get a next friend. If you have a friend who is not helping you positively, you should remove him from your cycle and introduce a new friend who will help you in achieving your objectives. Have you ever done what we call gap analysis? Gap analysis simply means in terms of spiritual, personal, physical, relational, professional, financial, aspirational, or whatever. Just do a gap analysis. Know where you are now and predict where you want to be after a given time. Then start designing actions that can take you from where you are to where you want to be. That is what is called gap analysis. It's very important if we can do this gap analysis because we should be the major competitor of ourselves. That is, you should be able to look at where you are previously, maybe a year or 2 years ago, and where you are now or where you want to be in the future, and then continue to assess yourselves. In other words, you should be in competition with your previous self. Thank you very much for listening. We will keep bringing in educative lectures like this. If you enjoy this presentation, more is coming. Please subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much.